Okay, so we all are crazy people because we believe that somebody can come up on stage and in 1 hour change our lives. And that's not going to happen. But maybe I will bring one or another insight that you can use in your daily life. And I've been in this business for 14 years now. And this is my first company and my last company. I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. So now you all are executives and above, correct? Not all, but good, but almost. So I can talk honestly, like no blah, 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 talking, right? The truth. So the truth is that your business will grow if you meet new people and talk to them. Well, new, what do I mean by new? New is those that either do not know about Zinzino, they might have been your friends for a long time, or you talked to them long time ago, like half a year ago or 1 year ago. So you meet them, they are not yet in Zinzino, and you talk to them. And what do you talk? That's a good question, right? Because everything else you do is not really building your business. Meetings is the only thing that really is building your business. So if you are walking around your apartment or house and thinking, I know Ivars has a good rule. I don't know if he taught that rule to you, that he is allowing himself to think about Zinzino 15 minutes per day. So if 15 minutes are over, get out of the house and go somewhere into a meeting. Opening the back office and many other things, they don't build the business. The business is meeting people and talking to them. So now what do we talk? Because if you don't go into the meetings, that means that you don't know what to talk in the meeting. Is that right? Or you think you don't know what to talk in the meeting, because maybe you know, but you got discouraged or something happened. By the way, do you understand what I'm talking, or yeah? Most of you speak English and you have translation, and is it good? Yes. Congratulations, the translators, because I'm not too slow. Yeah. No, good. Yeah. Not too fast. No, for the translation. Good. Okay, so have I been there that I don't go to the meetings? Yes. Many times. Because I am a human being. I'm not a superhero or whatever. I'm just like you. And I have the same problems as you have. So sometimes I don't want to go to the meeting. But then I structure. So my personality, now we have different personalities. Women, they have a different way of communicating than men. So now I have a problem, because for women, it's going to be maybe too technical what I'm going to be speaking, but let's see. But for men, I like structure. So when I have structure, then for me it's easier to communicate. So for me, I always, out of everything I do, I try to structure it into some kind of a structure. I could call it like a skeleton, and then you can put meat on the skeleton. But if you don't have the skeleton, that meat is just a bunch of meat, and it doesn't function. For me, that's how my brain works. So I had to structure. So what do I do in the meeting? And I communicate several things. So one way to structure what I do there is this. And you know, how many of you know this book? Start with Why. Why? Yeah, many. Not so many. Why what and how. So it's like that. And for me, for a long time, this was, I read the book many years ago, and I was, so to say, I liked the book, I liked this concept, but it was not practical for me. Now it's very, very practical, because this is what I talk in the meeting. I talk about why with a person, and if I succeed at going to one page with the person about why, this is in other words called find the need of a person. Okay? So if I found the need of a person and we aligned, and I know what that person wants in life, and they're not getting elsewhere, and they can get it here, now I almost signed the contract, right? So this is the most important, and if we start with this, then later we can move to what do we do here and how do we do that, and for some people they need a lot of what and how, for others they need very little, they can start just with why, okay? So now it's very, very practical for me. Now, another structure that I use, because today we will jump back and forth. I call it 3 times 3. Maybe one day it's going to be 4 times 3. Who knows? But today, when people ask me, so you as a partner, so what do you guys do here in Zinzino? Like, how do you operate? My answer is, oh, that's simple, because the answers have to be simple. So, and not foggy. Now, if I asked you, so what do you do in Zinzino? I would get probably 100 answers, different. Somebody would say, we are saving the planet because we save health and whatever. Somebody would say, we are in test-based nutrition. Somebody would say, we're getting customers, we're getting partners, and all of that makes confusion sometimes in people's heads, because it's like, it doesn't match to anything they have. Like a lawyer, oh, I know who you are. Or a businessman, or, right? So if you say, so what do you do in life? I'm a businessman. Ah, okay. Now everybody got it. But now if you start like, and so I'm a businessman, and if somebody asks me, I'm a businessman, I'm an investor, and I'm a networker. So I know exactly what to say back, simply. So now they say, okay, what does that mean to be a networker? Well, I do 3 things. It's very simple. I do the testing on myself. I test myself on a regular basis. I use the products every day, and I share my experiences. That's it. Think of it. Do I do anything else? Like today here, I'm sharing my experience, right? And I took the products in the morning, and I do the tests on a regular basis. That's it. Now this helps me a lot. Why? Because now we have objections. So in the meeting, so everything I'm going to be talking today is in the meeting, or how to invite people to the meeting. It's the meeting, the most important thing, right? So now in the meeting, what some of us are fearing is objections. Okay? Do you know what's objections? So when people say, oh, it's network marketing, right? And then you are like, you don't know what to say. Like, yes, or no, it's just direct sales. It's just another type of thing. We have a hybrid model and whatever. So what I now do with all the objections? I say, oh, yeah, that is. What's your experience in this? And now they are like, I don't have any experience. So now it's not me. It's now them who is speaking. Right? So now they say, and I have no experience. I know this guy who was in network marketing. He was not successful. Oh, I say. I see where it's coming from. So I see where your opinion is coming from. Let me share my experience. I'm 14 years in network marketing in Zinzino. I'm earning a whole bunch of money every month. I invested my money into shares. I'm getting dividend. My shares grew. Every single thing that I experienced in this profession is a good thing, except one. It's just people who are ignorant, who don't know, they think they know. That's the only thing that is not pleasant in this profession, right? Yeah, events, pleasure. Meeting when the person wants to know what we know. It's pleasure. So it's a lot of pleasure. No technical work, almost no, right? So most of the things we have here is pleasure, and it's good, and that's my experience, and that's what I'm sharing. So now, so when you think you have to present, then you may be a bit, may think, I don't know if I present it well, but if you share, is it still working, the mic? Yes. Yeah. But if you share your experience, you always know that that's my experience. How can you object my experience? That's what I experienced. So now you are in a very strong position. And they are in a very weak position because they have no experience. So now they say, oh, I know Amway. And I'm like, what does that have to do? This is Amway experience, but I have Zinzino experience. This has nothing to do with Amway. Like, people come from Amway and they're happy here. So if you talk about experience, that saves a lot of your neurons so you don't lose them. Okay. So now when I speak about experience, and let's say we're talking about, so my experience in Zinzino was very good. Is it what? Is it how? Or is it why? It's a why, right? Because now I'm communicating why you should be here. Correct? So, and then I want to find more reasons, but the reasons that matter to you. That's what I want to find. It doesn't matter what matters to me, it matters what matters to you. So if that doesn't matter, being in events to you, then it will not be your why. So I have to find something that matters to you. So for me, I communicate one thing that matters to almost everyone. Very few I find that they don't care about that. So for me, in the meeting, what I do, and this is, so I'm going to be jumping. You see, I'm jumping from one to another, but then in the end, we will wrap it all together. So another technique that I use, and then I will return back to 3x3, okay? But another technique that I use is, I call it GPS technique, and you probably know what GPS is, and you know probably the technique. The GPS, when you open the navigation app, what does it do first? It shows where you are, okay? So, maybe I should write GPS, maybe it's gonna be the shortest way, because I may try to draw it. Maybe I could. So let's say it found where you are. I think it has like an arrow or something, right? You click on the arrow and it shows where you are. If it cannot find where you are, it doesn't function. So in the meeting, what do I do? So first, if I'm the sponsor, I see the person for the first time. It's very easy. I say, hey, tell me a bit about yourself, so that or my partner told me a bit. So I would say, oh, I heard about you from the partner, but could you tell a little bit about yourself? So that's it. So then they talk a bit, and then I start asking questions about where they are. So I start asking questions. Okay, so you are... So my last meeting, the guy is a financist in a big company, 45 million euro turnover. The woman is a teacher, but now no longer teaching. They moved to another country. So now I say, okay, so is it your dream? Are you going to work in that company for the rest of your life? No, I'm probably going to lose my job this year because our company was sold to another company, to the competitors. I'm like, okay, so what are we talking about here? It's a why. Why would you start Zinzino business now? So, okay, so, all right, and so what's your plan? Oh, I'm open to options. I'm open to opportunities. Maybe we want to open a cafe. Cafe. Oh, nice. That's good. I know very good coffee. Now, what am I doing here? I'm being a friend. Genuinely, not fake. If they are not going to start as Zinzino partners, I will help them with coffee. I will tell them where to get Rombots Malongo coffee for their cafe. And if I can help anyhow else, I would be helping them, even if they say no. Why? Because I have sponsored partner after partner after 6 years or more of talking and meeting. So in my head, I say, oh, I'm going to be here when you are tired of the cafe. But I don't say it loud. I'm going to be here waiting for you. But now I will help you with what you want to achieve. And then they feel that I'm on their side. And if I'm on their side, they are going to be more likely to listen to what I'm saying about Zinzino. Correct? Does that make sense? Are you woken up? You still sleeping? Somebody? No? Everybody's awake? Okay, good. So now I'm trying to find everything about where they are. Now, well, 2 kids go to school. That's a lot of expenses, right? So they need money. And, do you have some passive income? I want to know what's going to happen when he's going to lose his job. And his wife doesn't have one now. Yeah, we rented our apartment back in our country. Okay, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? That you can live with 2 kids and the whole family in another country. Anything else? No. Oh, okay. Then now I basically know where they are, right? So now I say, okay, so now I'm out of colors because, okay, whatever, that's going to be red. So let's say now we want to find a dot. So where are you heading? Where do you want to end up? And so I say, so okay, so what's the big plan? Where do you want to end up in life? So we want to open the cafe. So when the cafe is what they think, so it's also about where they are, but it's also where they think they are going. Now I say, Oh, cafe, okay. And you're going to have it for the next 30, 40 years? Mm, and now they are not sure. So they don't have a really good plan. Okay? So I say, let's imagine you already have the cafe. What's next? Do you build a network of cafes, or what's going to happen? We don't know. We'll see. Okay, how much money is it going to bring you, the cafe? Okay, and now we are in trouble. They are in trouble because now they have no clue where they are heading. And this is my moment. Now I say, so now for women it might be different, right? Because for men it's more like a goal to achieve something, income. For women, sometimes it's helping kids and other moms and more about mission. But maybe women, you can create out of this another training. Okay? So, but now, here's my moment. I say to them, so I don't feel like it's completely clear where you're going, but may I share my thing? Why, what, and why, and how, and I wanted to achieve. There, yeah. So then I say, what I wanted, and that's true story, since I was 25. I realized when I was 25 that if I will have to work for the money for the rest of my life, it's not going to be a good life. I realized that I have to somehow invest in the broad sense of meaning, so emotions, time, effort, money, anything, whatever it takes, invest into something that I don't do anything later and it brings me money every month. So it's a cash flow, so it's passive income. That's what I understood when I was 25. So this was the goal, the end goal. I'm already standing there because even if I stopped working today, for the rest of my life, I believe my income would grow and grow and grow and grow. This is how strong the teams are all around the world in my organization. So I'm very happy to be here, and now I have the power to talk about that even more because I had a goal and I'm there, right? And that's where you want to go. So now I say this was my goal, so that I create some kind of a, what is that called? The wheel that is very, very heavy, and you have to put some effort into it, and then it circles without you. Whatever. I use this word in Lithuanian. Smagratis in Lithuania. Bararats. Spararats. Spararats. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to create. Yeah. Yeah. So now I say, is cafe likely to lead you there? That you will, and they are like, we're not sure. Okay, so I said, what I was looking for was several things so that I end up having that. And now the magic word, so you can write that word down. I will mention this word again and again today. It's accumulation. Accumulation. That's the magic word. Because if there is no accumulation, then is a bath with a hole on the bottom. So you bring a bucket of water, you want a bath in the bath. So you pour the water, you go for another bucket, you come back, there's no water. That's salary or a small business. You always have to work, and the money goes out faster than you bring in more. Correct? That's called lack. And that's called not accumulation system. The system that does not accumulate the water, in that case. So now, the system that has no accumulation ends up in lack of something. So the system that does not accumulate the business, the customers, whatever, that ends up in lack of customers, lack of income, lack of everything. Okay? I did not want to live in lack. I wanted to live in abundance. So abundance is when there's too much of something. Yeah. So abundance is when you have more than enough, more than you really need. So then you can share with others, whatever, do charities or whatever is on your mind. So now accumulation, so passive income system is an accumulation system that accumulates your efforts. Either accumulates money or emotions and efforts and work, something. So now, when I talk, so let's take another example. Now I'm recruiting a new friend who was a CEO of a big company, 170 million euro turnover company, and now he is out. The same story, the company was bought by another company, the values do not match, he's out. So now he says, I'm open, I'm looking for something to do. I say, let's do Zinzino, let's build it big. So now he says, yeah, but I don't know how much money we can earn here. Maybe takes a lot of time to earn the money. And I say, okay, tell me, how many years have you been a CEO? 18. Okay, I have been in Zinzino 14 years. Do you know what's the difference? I say, okay, did you put effort, a lot of work? Yes, me too, to Zinzino. Did you work night shifts? Yes, me too. Did you, and you get the point, right? So did you do everything the same? You are at zero now, and I'm at plus 50,000 per month. Even if I do nothing. You do nothing, you get zero. What is the difference? Is one word, accumulation. I was in a system that was accumulating everything what I did. He was in a system that was not accumulating what he did. Correct? So accumulation is the magic word, and that is one of the strongest whys of mine. Because if I am to do anything in life, then I would like it to be in an accumulation system, not in the system that I lose. Does that make sense? Is it, can we even say it's common sense? Right? So, and then my friend, he's back to the conversation because now he's like, okay. So now I'm returning him back on track with Zinzino. Because now, so what do we need that a system or a company could be called as an accumulation place? It's several things. And now everything I'm talking here is why. Why you should be here, why others should be here. So those three things is this. So first, it has to be a product, the best, if people do not quit on the product. And you can believe that people may not quit for the next 40 years. Well, I have an intention to live at least 50 more years. I'm 50, so 200, maybe 220. And if there's some kind of invention, maybe I'll live longer, who knows. So then I want to, to, to be believable that the product that we are selling as a company could be used for the next 70 years by somebody. Can we believe that in Zinzino we have that product? Yes. So, because the need for omega-3 is never going to go away, right? And on and on and on. And I don't have to go too deep into that, but we know that the product is like that. So, and people are not quitting on this product. Maybe the competition will grow, but anyway, we still have a very strong product, correct? Now, second is the company, and the company that is created on the right values. The company that is created to last 50, 70, 100 or more years. Okay, we can name many companies that I can believe will last. Like Coca-Cola, I think will last the next 70 years, or McDonald's. I don't know, maybe they will transform into a healthy food, but we can name some names that we believe they will last. Most of the people where they work and get the salary, I don't think they think that their companies will last for the next 50 years or so. And their companies are not accumulating their efforts, and they will not last. So what's the point to be there any longer? Maybe the mission. Okay, maybe it's a kindergarten and you are a kindergarten teacher and you love kids, and so, and without offending that individual, I believe it's a hobby. It's a hobby with a little bit of compensation. It's something they like to do. It has a very nice purpose, and we need people like that, and so we respect them, and on, right? My kids go to school, so I know what I'm talking about. Now I know when I have kids. So, but it's a very small compensation, and it doesn't accumulate anything, right? So maybe they would like to have an income somewhere. So the company that lasts, built to last, so that owners are not going to accumulate your efforts and run away with the money, because there are companies like that, correct? There are companies that are not publicly traded. Nobody knows who are the owners. Like, do you know who are the owners of Amway? Who knows? We don't know. So then we don't know what kind of values the company will receive to operate on from the new owners. Maybe it's sold to other owners, and now they will. So you get the point. In Zinzino, we are a publicly traded company. We know all the owners. We are the owners. So, and it's built to last forever, because do you think I want to build it one more time? No. Do you think Orion wants to build it one more time? No. We are already growing fast, are big, well, not big, small but big, right? And successful. Why would you leave this and build something else instead? So we are in the position that it's better to build this bigger than do something else. So this is the company that is built to last forever. Okay? Now, the third thing is also crucial. Now, the system has to be that is waiting for you, not based on a salary contract, but based on a percentage contract from the market that you create. Because you can do sales in many companies with a salary or with a commission, one-time commission. You sell something, you get a commission, right? And it's over. You have to do another sale to get a little bit of commission. But here, the system is this. You created certain market, that part of the market is yours. And it's paying you commission no matter if you work or not. So that's the system, right? So now we have the product, the company, and the system that is waiting for you to share the profit. Okay? So now, and it's all why you should be here, right? So now when I'm communicating, I know where I am in the structure. And is that all? No. Are there other systems that would be like this? Well, you could buy real estate, a lot of real estate, and rent it. Is it the product that people will use? Yes. Most probably, right? They have to live somewhere. And there's always people who rent apartments. So is it the company that's going to last? Probably yes, because it belongs to you. And is it sharing the profit? Yes, because that's your real estate. The difference is that you need a couple $1 million or more to rent that much real estate so that you can live on it with 2 kids and, and schools and everything. And now it's not the company that does not qualify, but the prospect does not qualify, because most of the people, they don't have a couple €1 million sitting in their bank account waiting to be invested. Most of the people are in lack. Why? Because they are not in the system that accumulates. So they are always in lack. They are bringing buckets of water and there's no water in the bath. You get the point, right? So now the prospects do not qualify. You could buy shares in Zeno shares and get dividend, but again, you need millions of euros, correct? So now Zinzino doesn't require millions of euros to start, and you can build it still, correct? So all of those things are the why you should be here when I'm talking to a prospect, okay? So, and what I did now, I just shared my experience because, well, I was buying real estate. You probably were buying real estate. Could you rent your house or apartment? Yes. So you could talk from your experience, that create it into your own experience. This. So now, okay. So what I do here? By the way, the important words. Maybe we can write them here. Is two is this one. So I hope I spelled it right, but accumulation leads to abundance. So if you accumulate somewhere, the efforts, the money, everything, then you become abundant, which means more than enough. So, okay, so now, and what I do here is just 3 things. And those 3 things is testing myself, then taking the products, every day, and then sharing my experiences. So now I communicated the point where I was heading, right? Nothing very complicated. I was heading towards accumulation and abundance through the system that has some criteria. right? And for me, now it's very easy to say, so we were not a health company, because sometimes when you talk too much and too strong about balanced oil and we are saving the planet, that sounds like you are a scam or you are a fanatic. You are, right? But I don't want people to think that way, not because of me, but because I want them to be interested to be here. So here's what I say. So those criteria of the company, of the product, of the system I needed to get to accumulation and abundance. So I didn't care what product I'm going to be working with. It doesn't matter. It was coffee. It was a good product, right? It is a good product. We lost almost no customers that started with coffee. We still have 7% or whatever, now 2% maybe of the total Zinzino turnover. But in the number of people consuming the coffee, I think it's maybe increasing step by step slowly, but not decreasing. So the product was amazing, right? The company was built on those same values, and the system was the same, and there was no investment. So it was the same thing, no matter that the product was different, but also good for this system, okay? So, but we bumped into scientists in Norway, they pricked our fingers, they showed the test, and it turned out that there might be even better product to use in this system. So can you see that I'm not too fanatic about the product? I'm fanatic about the whole big picture of the business. That's why I attract people who are business oriented, because there I attract them with the why. Why am I here still? And why they should be here. So now, could have we built the same with coffee? Yes. Do you know what was the problem with coffee? No? Huh? No, it is unique. It's very, very unique. Exactly. It did not belong to Zinzino. And we had issues with the producer. They were selling coffee and still probably are selling coffee to Zinzino for more than sometimes to the market. Wholesale becomes more expensive than retail. So, and then somebody buys some coffee and brings it to the markets that we operate. So it was impossible to come to a good agreement with the producer. The coffee is amazing. I don't know that many who quit on this coffee. Once they start, they don't want to quit. So the product is amazing, but the company did not belong to us. Now balance, the whole concept, production, everything belongs to us, to Zinzino. Okay? But as you can see, I'm not communicating that this is the main thing. The main thing is the big picture. So the main thing is that I can accumulate here without being afraid that it will disappear. Because I believe in the product that it will not disappear. I believe in the company that it will not disappear. I believe in this system because it works. And I believe that people more likely to join when they don't need millions of euros to start. They only need 1,000 or 2,000 euros or whatever. So that's why this system leads to abundance faster than any other system. Cheaper, faster. Now, if you don't believe, because somebody maybe is a bit struggling to build this business, because we need to learn, everybody needs to learn how to, but if you don't believe that this is the fastest way to abundance, to a lot of money, then look at Sven. 2 years and elite president or what? Almost global. Why? Because he had experience to build it. Okay? So, of course, if you don't have the experience, if somebody is not doing the right things in the right way, at the right time, whatever, then it's difficult even with the right system to build something. But Sven, when he had the experience and the right system, boom, very quick to a lot of money, right? So now that this is where I was heading, okay? So the GPS technique. So now if somebody, we know where they are, and they got fascinated with the idea of where I was heading, they want to end up in the same place. Now we can start drawing. It's not going to be like this, right? I quit. So now this is clear. So this is what's going on in my head when I'm in the meeting. Can you see that? Is it easier to navigate the meeting if you have a structure like this? Yes? Somebody is already getting that. Good. Okay. And is it easier with the experience? This is the main word, right? Experience. So based on experience, then it's easier to talk. Because theoretically, you know, there are people who know everything in life but never experienced anything because they never earned 1 million. They know how to do that, but they are not in the mood right now. So, yeah, we know that type of personalities that know everything, just never did anything. So, but once we share the experiences, then it's easier. So now, let's say we got to the point. By the way, now what we talked about why. Are there more things why? Yeah, you plan your own time. Who likes when somebody plans their time and gives 1 week of vacation per year and on and on and on, right? We know that. So you can find more reasons why to be here. Or for women, the mission part, helping, saving kids, saving other women, and whatever. And you can write more of those, and then you can have a structure in your head how you will find where another woman is and what she, maybe her why is that she feels purposeless somewhere in her job, and she would feel purposeful here with a purpose, with a mission, right? So that could be another way where she is and where she wants to end up. And it may be not that much about accumulation of money. It could be about accumulation of how many lives she's saved, right? So we can, but the structure is the same. So now we can navigate the meeting much easier. So now let's say we got to the point about why. Now, can you see, I was not talking that much about what and how, almost nothing, correct? Because if you don't have why and you start with what and how, you may have a listener that is not really listening. They are listening to their own stories in their own head. They're elsewhere. They're just looking, but they are elsewhere. Because if they don't know why they should listen to you or to this presentations in Zeno or something, then if they lose, then they lose attention. Then they just are not listening. But if they have a strong why, all of a sudden they realize this may change their lives. Can you imagine how different their attention now is? Now they are listening, really, about what and how. And if why is very, very strong, they're not going to be afraid of a lot of trouble. Because with my friend, I say to him, 18 years CEO, are you looking for another easy thing to do that you will lose after another 10 years? Do you want to experience this again? That I am, after 10 years, going to be at 200,000, 300,000, and you are going to be at zero again. Do you really want that for yourself? No. So what I'm doing here is I'm returning them back to the why if I have their strong why. Okay? Because that solves a lot of smaller issues on the way. If you have one very strong big why. So, okay. So now they are asking, so okay, so what do we do with those customers? We need some customers here. I train my team. Don't listen to me if you don't want, but that's my experience. I have to share it, correct? I train my teams to have 30 personal customers, maybe a little more or less. Less no, but 30 plus. And I say that's a secondary job. That's a side hustle. That's something you do on the side. That's something you do on the weekends whenever you have the time. Don't bother me with it. It's easy. It's you taking the products. If you don't understand why you need the products, read about it. If you understand you need them, you understand others need them, find people who want it. Don't bother me. And don't get to hundreds of customers. Because that's not accumulation. Once you have hundreds, it becomes something else. It becomes, they call you and they discontinue subscriptions and they want to change you something, and now they are employing you. They are your employers. Correct or no? Right? And I can tell you, after 14 years, I lost anyway all of the customers that I did not really love, like my family members, my mom, or my very good friend, the best friend. So I only kept those that were the closest to me. So why would I care that much about this? I just have to fix the minimum. Okay? And everything else I want to acquire through partners. And let them take care of their inner circle, of their closed circle. And then let's find more partners. So our main job is finding new partners. Exactly. And then telling them, this is a side hustle. You get the customers. Let's become pros at getting the partners. This is our main job. So, and how do we get them? Well, we test ourselves. We take the products every day and we share our experiences in the meeting. Can you see? It's easy. Can you do that? Can you take the test? Yes. No. Boom. Can you take the products every day? Yeah. Okay. Can you share your experiences? Yeah. Did you have a good meeting with us? That's all of your experience that you have today. So share that. We will share our experience. Do you have to go to the event? Yes, because that's going to be a new experience for you. Correct? Then you can share that experience. Do you have to go to Paul Clayton training? Of course, because that's going to be new experience. Now you can. Do you have to read books? Of course, because that's new experience that you can share. Getting? So this is so easy. It's nothing complicated. Okay. So now they say, Yeah, I'm getting. But can you train me a little bit what to talk to a potential customer? Yeah, sure. No problem. It's three things. Very easy. So first thing is the topic nutrition and health. It's the topic. So, and some people like it in a positive structure, others like it in a negative. Like, oh, so nutrition has nothing to do with health. No, it has to do. Because if you say nutrition is important, it's not so important. Some people are like that, correct? So then you switch to the opposite. You say, so nutrition has nothing to do with health. No. Now we're talking. Because now we have a topic of nutrition and health. Now, and to this topic, everything is here. The consequences of deficiencies, like omega-3 deficiency. What are the consequences? Very severe, right? So if they're very severe and you want to live long and happy life, then you should probably correct it, right? So then, number two, let's mix the colors. Did you know that if I write in different colors, do you know why I write in different colors? No? Somebody? Huh? Attention, because that turns, if I wrote in one color, that would turn on only one part of your brain. But colors is in the other side of your brain. So now you have text on one side, colors on the other, the whole brain is functioning. That's the only reason I'm making this looks like a joke. But no, you retain more information that way. So, second is, do you want to guess? Is it 2S? Yeah, I guess. Or test. So if it's so important that you may die earlier, or you may have not a high quality life, would you really leave it to guessing, or would you like to test and know exactly? Now, here we can use the same structure, the GPS. Where are you? If you never test it, you don't even know where you are. If you don't know where you are, how come you may end up where you want? So if you want to end up where you want, first we have to find out where you are. And if you are not in the right place, then we have to do something about it. So the third is, so guess, test, and solutions. Solutions. How do we solve this? Okay? So how do we return back to the norm instead of staying in the deficiency? That leads to consequences. Three things. Is it difficult? No. It's very easy. Plenty of information. And I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm not trying to overload them with information. I say, if you have omega-3 deficiency, that will lead to consequences. If you want to read everywhere. Don't put it on me, on my shoulders, that I have to convince you, or it's nothing about me. We just have the test and the solution. That's it. If you want to stay with deficiency, it's fine. So, this is what we do with customers. Okay, now they say, so good, and how do you get partners? Partners? Well, very easy. Again, it's just three things. Right? So the first thing, for me, you can call it accumulation. Well, you can write it finding the need. So need could be But for me, the most important need is accumulation. So I want to be, if I call it business or work, I want it to be accumulated, not lost. If it's something else, some other mission, then it could be like, well, I became a black belt in karate. Where is it now? Well, I still can do something, but it's completely lost, right? It's a lot of hours and effort and sweat, and where it goes, well, it's just an experience, nice experience in life, correct? So that can qualify as a entertainment, as something else, but if I work, I want the accumulation. So need accumulation. Then 2 is, what are the criteria for the system that would accumulate? So, because then we can discuss if you are in an accumulation system or you are not. So, and then, so this color. And then, what and how. So this is what I talk to partners. It's just 3 things. You find another need, or the need is accumulation, then what are the criteria to get those needs that you have? And usually Zinzino has the criteria. Well, and for some people, Zinzino doesn't have the criteria, and then it's also easy because then it's not a match. And if there's no match, it's fine. So I can even start the meeting from this point. I can start the meeting because here everybody is a match. They understand it or not. Well, here, not everybody is a match. Okay? Well, somebody has another plan, and maybe that plan works better for them. They should be a customer. But so if I'm talking about the match of partnership, then I want to find out if they match this plan that I have. So it takes the tension away from me. I'm not tense in the meeting because I just want to find out, is it a good match for you or no? And if it's not, fine. Criteria. So those 4. The product that people will keep on consuming for the next 50 years. The company that is built on the right values and will not disappear. Then the system that is waiting for you, sharing the profit, not the salary. And investment. There's no big investment. It's just, if we can even call it investment, a couple thousand euros, it's a joke. In business, that's a joke. That's nothing. So you shouldn't be afraid of not starting partners with 0. Say, come on, this is a business. Businesses cost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of euros. It's 2,000. I mean, if you but freeze 1,200 to get the product. So now how do we communicate? I communicated that way. You freeze 1,200 to get the products that you cannot use yourself for your own health. Those products are not yours. They are Zinzino products. And they were not given. You borrowed those from Zinzino to work as instruments of operation. Okay? And Zinzino wants a guarantee that you will use them in the right way. Because if you use them in the wrong way, there's going to be 0 result. And if it's going to be 0 result, then why should Zinzino lose 1,200 euros of products? Correct? You understand? But so that's why you freeze those money for 1 year. And if you behave in the right way, if you do correct things, you will have 25 subscriptions in the end of 12 months. And what are the correct things? Well, if you walk around, now I have a rule. Every meeting that I go, I have a test and I make a test in the meeting. Every single meeting that I go. I have a test and I make the test. So no matter if I lose that test later, no matter if I get it back or I get the money for it, I don't care. I just go with the test and I make the test in every meeting. That increases the likelihood of signing the contract by many times. In most of the cases, you will sign the contract later. Or it's going to be so painful losing the test that you will learn how to sign the contract out of that test. So that's what I recommend to do. So now I'm coming with a test, and then now I forgot where I was heading with this. So what was the question again? The criteria. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So I want to know if the person matches, and if they don't see themselves now, I want to be the best friend as I can. I want to help them with whatever they want to do so that I keep the friendship. So maybe they are going to see what I'm doing here later, half a year later, 1 year later. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. Any questions? Was it clear? Completely unclear? It's a fog. What are you talking about? How long does it take to do a business presentation? That's what Kira is asking. It depends. There is no one answer. Why? Because if I'm talking to a CEO who was a CEO of 170 million euro company, that's a different story than if we're talking to a mom. Mom talks to a mom. And one more thing is that I don't have agenda to sign them up on the first meeting. Okay? If they want, okay, but usually they sign up after many meetings. So my goal, then it may last 1 hour, it may last 2 hours, it doesn't matter for me. For me, the most important is that I find the why they should be here, and I see that they start seeing it. And it's becoming so strong that everything else, what they did until now, is just becoming a noise for them. And this is becoming their focus. So that's my main goal. It's not the what and how. Okay, that's a good answer? Good enough? I will translate. 90% of potential partners after the presentation, they will say, I will think. When people think, say, I will think, usually, if you can see in their emotion, are they really going to think, or it's a polite way to say no? You can see that, right? And in most of the cases when they say, I will think, it's a polite no. They just want to say no, but it's uncomfortable to say no because you invested 1 hour, you were very passionate about it, and now they say, no, it's crap. So they say, I will think about it. Yeah, thank you. So, but usually for me, if I see they really say no, I haven't found their why. So it's not that they didn't like something about it. It's just they were not turned on. They were off the whole meeting. Because if you really have a strong burning why, you will go through a brick wall. Right? Yeah. So they will say something else. Like they would say, let me think, you will see in their eyes and in their emotion that either they are going forward or backward. Correct? So those who were in the meetings, you saw that. Now, if you sign up somebody who was going backward, of course, you can manipulate them and sign them up anyway. But where does it lead? Does it lead to accumulation or not? It doesn't lead that much anywhere. Because they will quit after a week, probably. They will never start. They will quit before they start. So for me, but that's a bit different. When I started, I was signing up everyone. I would take their hand and I would sign the contract for them. So, and that creates a bit of a bad smell about this profession in the market and so on. So, but it worked. So if I have no recommendation about it. Should you do that or should you not? Because I can afford with my income to sign up nobody for a year, right? Just to sign people for the team or the team signs them up. And I could look for another big fish. And then I don't care when the big fish I saw. So I just want the next big fish. I want them to really have such a strong why that nothing matters. They're going to build it. Okay? So this is what I want. A very good question. So what do we do if we do the test and the test report is all green? So first of all, that's going to be so rare. I had 2 people probably with a green test in 14 years. So, and I signed up, I think, I don't know, hundreds, at least maybe thousands of contracts, customer and partner altogether. Not personal, but in total. So that's very rare. But if I find somebody with a green test, then I do several things. First, I say, have you ever tested for heavy metals? You can go to any laboratory, you give your pee, and then you get the report. And if you are getting those omega-3s from the seafood, I don't know where you are getting them from, then you most probably are very high on pollutants in your body. And you may want to change it. So if you switch from that seafood to balanced soil, then it's going to be safe for you. Because now I'm not sure if you are safe. Second thing is how expensive it is. Well, but that's a small thing, right? Because it's much more expensive to try to fix it with seafood than with balanced soil. But yeah, not right? I'm not sure. Because if you want, yeah, okay. If you're sure, that's good. Then number 3, if you are getting this from the supplements, then you are in danger as well. If the supplement is without polyphenols, then if it oxidizes inside the product, it's not a big problem. You don't absorb it, you burp a bit, and it goes through you. It's not tasty, but not too much damage to the body. But if you absorb omega-3 without polyphenols, it may oxidize in your liver, in your bloodstream. It may stick to your blood vessels, so it could be damaging the body. Okay? So what I would recommend is to have a green test in a safe way. For me, that's the safest. For me, my experience, so I'm sharing my experience, you're sharing your experience. I think it would be way more expensive for me to fix it with seafood. I live in Portugal. There's whitefish. Whitefish does not contain that much omega-3. So I would have to buy some other fish. It's going to be somehow preserved because it has to be in the cold water. Whatever. It's a long story. Wild caught, and then I would eat pollutants together. So it's not a solution. And if we think about 99.9% of the population of the planet, it's not a solution for them. Maybe we can leave 1% that lives in Alaska or in Iceland, or I don't know. But for most of the people, let's say, who live in Lisbon, balanced oil is the best solution. That's it. So that's what I answer. And I had several people with green tests, and they switched to balanced oil or whatever they were doing. So I did not lose them. Yeah. Yeah. What I expect is, first of all, every one of you have your own business here. Nobody can tell you what to do. It's you who tell you what to do. You find your why. So what I expect the most is that you find your why so strong that you not just not quit, because not quitting is very easy in Zinzino. Doing nothing but not quitting. Because it's nice, events are nice, people are nice. It's actually more difficult, I think, to quit than not to quit, but do nothing. Right? So what I wish for you is to find such a strong why that you not just not quitting, but going into meetings every single day. And then my recommendation is to have the structure. Well, that's how my brain operates. I don't know how your brain operates. My brain operates, if I have the structure that is very simple, and I can always point where I am in the meeting, okay? I never lose it. I never lose the meeting because I always know where I am and what we already spoke about and what we haven't spoken about yet, okay? So what I expect, so if the question is, what do I expect? I expect you to find your strong why and then have the structure and then navigate in the meeting better and better and do so many meetings that you navigate easier and easier and you navigate towards the end result. And the end result is either it's not a good match or it's a good match. And once it's a good match, it's easy. If it's not a good match, it's easy. So that's it. Well, sometimes people have a season or a personality that they need to be pushed. They want to be pushed. But then it's an agreement between sponsor and partner. So that's why, because the question was, what do I expect? So if I start expecting too much, then I start pushing you or dragging you. And that's not me. So I expect the best for you from you, which is finding your why, having the structure, killing all the fears, and going into the next meeting. And meetings is the only thing that really builds the business. Everything else is secondary. And becoming a pro at recruiting partners, not at getting customers. It's paradox because we are a company that most customer-oriented company, most customer-friendly company, whatever, and the products is really the most important thing for the customers and whatever, and we earn money from that, but the biggest objective is partners, because otherwise you will get to hundreds of saved lives, and if you learn to recruit partners, you get to hundreds of thousands of saved lives. So that's what's the difference, why we should become a pro at getting partners more and more and more and more. And the trainings should be simple. The trainings should be only about inviting. How do we invite? How do we find the why? What do we do in the presentations? How do we close? And how do we start a new partner? That's it. So Express Start is all of the top. If you train something else, you are just wasting your time and your team's time. So just train the things that matter the most, and everything else doesn't matter. Thank you.